The Galactic Council chamber shimmered with 1,000 lights, its crystalline walls alive with the colors of distant stars. Representatives of 57 species sat in tiered rows, murmuring in disbelief. Some hissed, some clicked mandibles, others folded wings against their backs. All had gathered for one purpose: to hear the testimony of the woman who had shattered interstellar tradition. Her name was Zillara, daughter of the House of Vedich, heir to the sapphire throne of the Arion Dominion. Tall, luminous-skinned, and marked by the swirling glyphs of her lineage, she was considered the most desirable match in 3 star systems. But when her moment came to declare her bondmate, the partner who would share power, bloodline, and future, she had chosen not an Arion, not a warrior from the high clans, not a diplomat from a rival empire. She had chosen a human. The uproar had nearly torn the chamber apart. And now, 3 cycles later, the council demanded answers. The beginning, choice that shook the stars. The council speaker, a 4-eyed Kytherian elder, rapped his staff against the glowing dais. Princess Zillara of Arion, you stand accused of destabilizing the balance between our worlds. Explain yourself. Why a human? The crowd turned as the human in question stepped forward. His name was Captain Elias Kale, once a soldier, now a wanderer. His uniform was worn but neat, his dark eyes steady. Compared to the shimmering silks and radiant plumage of the alien delegates, Elias seemed painfully ordinary, an anomaly amidst grandeur. Zillara rose beside him, her voice carrying across the chamber. I chose him because he sees me, not the throne, not the power, not the bloodline. He sees me as I am. Gasps filled the chamber. A chittering insectoid ambassador clacked its mandibles in disgust. A reptilian warlord hissed, scales bristling. Romantic folly, one delegate shouted. A human cannot rule beside an Arion, cried another. They are fragile, short-lived, reckless. But Zillara did not flinch. Her mind drifted back to the moment everything began. Flashback. The deserted world. Zillara had been traveling incognito, hiding her identity beneath a hood of woven light, when her shuttle malfunctioned and crash-landed on Sarion 4, a mining outpost abandoned decades ago. Smoke, debris, and silence had greeted her. But not silence for long. Stay where you are, a voice had called. She had turned to see a man in battered armor aiming a plasma rifle at her. His stance was cautious, but his eyes revealed weariness more than malice. I'm not your enemy, she had said. Funny, he replied. That's what enemies usually say. That was Elias Kale, stranded after his freighter had been attacked by raiders. His escape pod had brought him to Sarion 4, where he had survived on dwindling rations and sheer stubbornness. They had no reason to trust one another, but survival forged unlikely bonds. Together they scavenged parts from the ruins, repaired power cells, and endured dust storms that howled like angry spirits. At night, beneath the dying sun, they spoke. She told him of the stars beyond, of her people's empires and ancient codes. He told her of Earth, of a planet bruised by war yet stubbornly alive, of humans who dreamed even when surrounded by ruins. And one night, as a storm raged, she had nearly been swept away into the abyss. Elias had gripped her hand, pulling her back with every ounce of his strength. His voice cut through the storm. Not letting go. Not ever. In that moment, she saw him not as human, but as something greater. Unyielding, unafraid, unwilling to abandon. The middle, returned to power. When Zillara finally returned to her people, she was crowned heir. The high clans gathered to witness her choice of bondmate. Every eye expected she would select from among the noble houses. Instead, she had spoken Elias's name. Shockwaves rippled through the empire. Some called it blasphemy. Others whispered it was a ploy, a strategy to destabilize enemies. But the truth was simpler. She had chosen love. Yet love alone was not enough in the galaxy of politics and power. The council convened, demanding testimony. If Elias could not prove his worth, war could follow. Elias stood now in the chamber, hearing the accusations hurled at him. His jaw tightened, but he did not speak until the speaker allowed it. Finally the staff struck. "Human, defend your claim." He stepped forward. "You call me fragile, reckless, unfit. Maybe I am. Humans are short-lived. We bleed easily. We break. But that's what makes us dangerous to underestimate. We don't stop. We don't bow. And when we choose someone, we fight for them until the stars themselves burn out." Silence rippled through the chamber. Even the harshest voices hesitated. Zillara placed her hand over his. "This is why I chose him. Rising conflict. The trial of worth." But not all were convinced. The council decreed a trial, a test of worthiness, not of Zillara, but of Elias. If he failed, he would be cast aside, and Zillara forced into a traditional bond. The trial was brutal. First, Elias was cast into the arena of shadows, where he faced simulations of the galaxy's deadliest predators. His rifle ran dry, his armor cracked, yet he fought on with ingenuity, luring beasts into traps, turning their strength against them. Next, he was tested in the Hall of Minds, a place where illusions and psychological assaults broke the strongest of warriors. He was shown visions of failure, Earth burning, Zillara dying, his own blood on his hands. Yet each time he rose again whispering, "Not letting go. Not ever." Finally, the trial of unity, where he and Zillara were bound by neural link, their thoughts exposed to the council. If either harbored deceit, the bond would shatter. Instead, the chamber filled with images from their memories. Storm-swept nights on Sarion 4, laughter by firelight, the moment their hands clasped in desperate survival. The council had no words. They had demanded proof, and proof had been given. The climax: betrayal and truth. But not all wished to see a human rise. A rival faction within the council, the Dralek Syndicate, launched an assassination attempt during the final judgment. Blades flashed, plasma bolts tore through the chamber. Delegates screamed. Guards fell. Elias moved first. Without hesitation, he shielded Zillara with his own body, taking the strike meant for her heart. Blood spilled across the crystalline floor. Zillara's cry shook the chamber. Power surged from her, glyphs blazing, eyes like suns. She unleashed a wave of force that shattered the attackers, hurling them against walls with bone-crushing impact. Elias lay dying. His voice, weak but steady, reached her ears. "Told you, not letting go." But Zillara was not ready to let go either. Using forbidden Arion healing rites, she poured her life force into him, binding their fates. For a moment, her own light dimmed, but Elias's eyes opened once more. The council, stunned into silence, witnessed a truth undeniable. This was no political stunt, no manipulation. It was sacrifice. It was devotion. It was love. The ending. A new beginning for the galaxy. In the aftermath, the speaker of the council rose. His 4 eyes glistened. "Let it be known," he declared, "that the bond between Princess Zillara and Captain Elias Kale stands as proof that unity can exist beyond bloodlines, beyond species, beyond centuries of division." The galaxy demanded answers. "We have them now."